Hello, and welcome to this webinar on helping you write and publish research articles, brought to you by Edance. I'm Dr. Trevor Lane, Education and Engagement Consultant at Edance, which provides expert English services and publishing support for researchers. I currently volunteer as a council member of COPE, the Committee on Publication Ethics, and I'm a member of these editing and scholarly organisations. I've edited thousands of manuscripts and have been involved in publishing and teaching publishing for more than 20 years. Edance staff understand the many challenges that authors face throughout their careers. When publishing research, you need to prepare well, select a suitable journal, write and submit your paper in academic English, and pass the journal peer review process. And after publication, you must promote your research to the public. Edance provides professional services at each step, and you can find out more at this webpage. Edance also provides consultations, seminars and webinars like this one. In an earlier Edance webinar, we looked at how and where to publish your work. This is part 2, Features of Effective Research Articles. Part 3 will be on how to improve your writing. First, we look at the structure of research papers. In part 1, I said select your journal early. It's a good idea to read all the journal guidelines to know what the editors and reviewers are looking for. Of course, they want good content that matches the journal's aim and scope, and is technically sound, accurate, and not published before. They also want work that was ethically done and ethically reported, and objectively peer-reviewed. All assistance must be declared in the acknowledgements. There needs to be enough detail for others to repeat the work and to verify the data. There should be a clear message that is well written and supported by evidence with a useful title, abstract, and illustrations. And the format should match journal requirements, including removing author names from the text if the journal uses double-blind peer review. Some journals, such as Science and Nature, especially want to publish major advancements, and they judge the novelty, newsworthiness, and potential worldwide importance of a paper. However, here is what journals don't want. They don't want already published work, or a study that is cut into very small publications like Salami. They don't want data that show only positive effects and don't present the whole story, known as cherry-picking, which may lead to the file draw problem that biases the literature if research that has opposite or different results from those in published papers is never submitted to journals. And for hypothesis testing papers, journals don't want p-hacking or using many different statistical methods or collecting more data to achieve a positive result, or fishing trips or data dredging to test all combinations of data to get an interesting result. A related problem is HARK, or hypothesizing after the results are known, where authors find a positive result and then change the original hypothesis to make it fit the data. So make sure you haven't done these things and that your study is reproducible. Research manuscripts have some common features. One is the IMRaD pattern, or Introduction, Methods, Results, and Discussion. Usually this includes a conclusion at the end as the final paragraph or its own section. Together, IMRaD should answer these questions. Why did you do the study? What did you do? What did you find? And what do your findings mean? And how does your study contribute to your field? Check the journal guidelines for its required structure for research papers, because sometimes the results and discussion are combined, the methods may be moved to the end, or between the introduction and discussion or conclusion, there may be flexibility in the section names, especially for theoretical or modelling papers. The title and abstract are also important because they may be all that a potential reader sees. The title is like a flag and announces the most important feature. It must be short, but informative and accurate, and mustn't mislead the reader about the samples or methods. Avoid words like study of, and new, or novel, or first, or groundbreaking. And see what the journal usually accepts, such as a question title, a conclusion title, or most commonly just an indication of the main topic, variables, aim, method plus result, or method plus purpose. The abstract is structured like a funnel, going from general to specific information, in a short passage of maybe 150 to 300 words, depending on the journal's style. There may be certain subsections and subheadings in what's called a structured abstract, or just a single paragraph in an unstructured abstract. But the usual flow of information is from the problem to the aim, main methods, main results, and main conclusion. Avoid abbreviations and don't include references or illustrations, but do include standard keywords for search engine optimization. The journal may have a keyword list or may recommend a list or index. Some journals also require a summary picture or graphical abstract, or a list of bullet points as study highlights. The introduction should justify the need for your study. Begin with the basic background information, but match your target journal. If it's an international journal, be sure to emphasize the worldwide relevance of your topic. If it's a broad topic journal, you need to provide more background, but if it's a specialized journal, you don't need so much background. Cite studies that are up to date to summarize the context and what is known so far. Then say what is not known. This is the research problem or knowledge gap underlying your study. Explain the importance of finding the solution or filling the gap, and explain key variables, and if there are any problems with any past solutions. This leads to the specific question you will answer or hypothesis you will test. Finally, comes the specific study aim, along with a suitable approach, so you can directly address your research question. So the information goes from previous studies to your current study, and from general to specific. Here are some key phrases to signal the problem statement to your reader. Usually a however and some challenge or negative aspect. Or directly say that something is unknown and there is a knowledge gap, but also say why it's important to fill that knowledge gap. And here are some phrases for the purpose or aims statement. You can say in this study we, and then give a study verb. But remember to be specific about the purpose and approach. Some journals also want a preview of the conclusion or contents at the end of the introduction, as well as an extra literature review or theory section before the methods. The methods section needs enough detail for readers to critically evaluate your study design and to repeat it. This is usually in 3 parts. First, you need to discuss who or what was studied and how you selected samples. Then describe your procedures, including any treatments, control steps, and replicates. Finally, describe how you analyzed your data. Some journals require the full protocols to be uploaded as supplementary files. The results section depends on the study type and could progress from an initial synthesis, then testing for properties and functions, development of an algorithm or model that is then tested, or simulations with increasingly complex conditions. Use subheadings if allowed, where each section corresponds to a single illustration or method in a logical sequence. Don't forget to refer to all your illustrations without repeating the same information. If your journal uses separate results and discussion sections, you should only factually describe the results, not what the findings mean. If you have extra illustrations, you can usually upload them as online supplementary files. And now some journals require you to upload data files too. The logic pattern of the discussion section is the opposite of the pattern of the introduction. First, you summarize the main findings. Then, you interpret and evaluate your findings in the context of your field, such as describing how they are similar to or different from already published results. Discuss any unexpected or negative results and which of the alternative explanations is supported. Mention any limitations and if they affect the interpretations or were minimized, and give suggestions for future research. End with a conclusion with applications, benefits, and new insights that your study provides. The discussion goes from your current study to past studies and then future studies, and from specific to general as you present the wider meaning and implications of your work. Together, the sections of your paper should look like this, starting with the title and abstract, then IMRaD, followed by end matter such as references and acknowledgements. This shape reflects the logical structure and size of each section, and looks like the king or queen on a chessboard to remind you that the organization of your message is very important. However, even though there is a linear flow of information, you must also link your ideas. Your aims should be directly related to the research problem. The methods should be appropriate for your aims. The data need to match the methods. And your conclusion should directly relate to the issues you identified in the introduction, without overstretching and overgeneralizing. Successful papers have a clear storyline and logic, with consistent names for variables and terms, and all the data agree between the illustrations, text, and abstract. This ends part 2 of the EDANT's introductory webinar on writing research articles. We focused on features of effective research articles and looked at what editors want, IMRaD structure, and key content of each section of a paper, and overall logic and storyline. I hope you now have some useful tips on how to write and publish an effective research article in a peer-reviewed journal. EDANTS is ready to help you, and you are welcome to use free tools at the EDANTS website, the Journal Selector, the Author Path Writing Platform, and the EDANTS e-learning course. Thank you for your time, and please let us know if you have any questions.